Still alive? I got 40, 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandchild. So, yeah.
Oh, he's a grandchild.
What? That's in, yeah, Ocean Parkway and P. I missed out. Okay, you're like. We're up now. It's a long time.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. In this beautiful first Sunday in Shevat, and his Basa Besuras Toivis, should be Besuras Toivis for all Klal Yisrael.
Amen.
The email, there is a website for Chabad of Midwood, and sometimes people, Chabad, people, you could, through the website, you could send an email to the rabbi. A woman sent an email this week saying that she's planning to do an abortion. And she would rather, instead of the hospital keeping the fetus and doing whatever they do with it, that it should be buried properly. Huh? Apparently they're planning.
He's dead.
Yeah. So
It happened already? No.
So
Well, hopefully not.
obviously, and a question like this, I'm not going to answer with an email, even though I took care of everything that needs to be, just in case it's, there could be an abortion that's legit, and there could be that it's not anyway, it's not something that I could avoid. So just because if a person, I called up the Shevat Kadisha, I got in touch with the person that takes care of the Nefolim. I have everything, I made sure that everything is in place. And then I wrote back an email. Thank you so much for the question. Welcome to the neighborhood. We'd love to get to know you. Here is my number. Call me whenever you would like. Have a nice day. So the person still didn't call me. So I'm not, needless to say that answers like this, I'm not dispensing online. But since the person asked, so I did look into it a little bit. Needless to say, if the person will call me, first thing will be having the discussion about the abortion, which is the bigger question over here. Which is the bigger question. But if it's already lachas timas hagoylo, if the abortion already happened, so then the question is, does the baby need to have Huda or not?
It didn't change to begin with. It's not so simple. Open it up, yes or no.
No, I didn't say it's simple. I'm not dealing now with the abortion question because it seems like it seems like that wasn't even a part of her question.
Okay.
Obviously, if she would call me, let's find out what is it, how young in the pregnancy, how old in the pregnancy, why did she want to do it, what's going on. If a Jewish child can be saved, that's our first order of business. But anyway, in the meantime, I looked into, so then it's a schlep. The Chabad has to come to take it. The hospital, if they do an abortion, they dispose of whatever they do whatever they want to do. So
If the remains also, if the remains are not,
they don't give it back to the mother. The remains.
if the remains, if the fetus is not yet, I think for what is it, 43 days?
This is what we want to talk about. You're giving an answer before the question. So this is what we want to talk about. So
The answer is different.
So the really, one of the places where Shulchan Aruch talks about it is in Hilchos Yom Tov. What's the connection to this in Hilchos Yom Tov? Because Shaila is about burying a mace on Yom Tov for Yom Tov Sheni. So the Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Tov Kuf Chavav, Nefalim Shenagel Lahosir Erlosam Batzur Evanai Bekona. The minig is that if there was a nafel stale-born a baby, Rahman al-Islam, so the baby before the burial they would cut off the arla, like make a bris and give a name to the baby.
Wow.
So that is also Rafila b'Yom Tov Sheni Shel Golius. V'asa l'koivre b'Yom Tov ela manich ad lamach. Why? Because this thing of making a bris is a minig be'alma. It's not brought. It's a schus for the neshama. It's a schus for this. It's a schus for that. But it's not brought the fetish in the Torah. So therefore, we're not makel to do it on Yom Tov.
It's still going to still going to Chris.
Yeah, they make a bris,
Just
and it's a minig be'alma, says the Magen Avraham, and therefore we don't do it on Yom Tov. And then he gets into discussion: is there a mitzvah to bury a nefel? So there's a machlokes Rishonim. Dagos Mamonia says that there is no mitzvah to bury the nefel, and the Magen Avraham argues with him very strongly, and he says, "What are you talking about?" The Gemara says in Nida. The Gemara says in Nida Mishnah. The Mishnah says that the kusim. The kusim, there's two opinions. Rabbi Yehuda says that the kusim, if there was a nefel, they would throw the meat to a dog to eat. So or to a behema, they would throw it to for an animal. So an animal should eat the meat. So the Gemara says, "My dorush, why would the kusim do such a thing?" So the Gemara says that it says as that they dash in the pasuk loisase gvul benachloscha, and the Sifri over there says that we're talking about the gvul of a beis hakvaros, and they dashen misha yesh loy nachlo yesh loy kvura, person who is a live person, that therefore it was possible that he shouldn't have an inheritance, he has to be buried. A person who doesn't have the possibility of inheriting because it's a nefil, so therefore there is no kvura. And that's what the Gemara says. My daughter's called sheyesh nachla yesh gvul. It's mashma from the Gemara. 1 second, I didn't say anything yet. They have to say something. That the mashma from the Gemara that was the kusim. The kusim, and another thing he says, the pasuk says it's mashma that we do hold that you have to be mekaber a nefil. And another thing, he says that I don't understand. The pasuk says, but in Torah's kohenim that a kohen is metama lebenoy lebitoy, and the Torah's kohenim said ein a kohen metama lebenoy lebitoy if they're nefil. So why would the Torah have to say that he's not allowed to be metama if there's no mitzvah to be burying them? Obviously, there's a mitzvah to bury them. And that lepoil, that's the way a lot of pois can pass them, that it's a mitzvah to bury them. It was negayat an interesting shaila in Bina Leitim from Rabbi Yonis Neifshitz. He says that what happened was he said there's a shaila like this. He says that there was an ish oni. זה שונה מרבי שנשאלתי מן הרב החוקם, רב אלחונן, אשר שם בגלילוסו היה איש עוני, שהפילה אשתוי נפל משונה בצורוסוי. She had a nefel, and the nefel looked weird, so he decided to make a freak show, and he would charge 5 or 10 cents. He would go around from town to town with a jar and the baby in the jar, and he would charge. He used to go from town to town. Wow. A Jew. So the Rebbe Elchanan said, Rebbe Elchanan, so Rebbe Elchanan wrote a letter to the Rabbi Neifshitz. V'ani manati lahatiroi. Melvad al kaponim minik she'yisrael l'koivra. V'altit Torah simecha. He says, what's the difference if you're chayiv min Torah or not? It's minik Yisrael is yet to be mekaber. V'altit Torah simecha. V'avdigam meisa oser ba'noah. V'z a poshet af a nefel b'chlal. The Surya Kitimosav is a poshet. Areya Isha Zeh Mishtaker Bisurei Anoa or poshet Atkan Lashoina. Funny, interesting thing. That's what he said. So he passed. That's also about Noah. So the bottom line, there's a beautiful verse from Sam Sefer that some Sefer says that the Gemara has in Sanhedrin the question, why do we mekaber a mace? Is it because of the bizoyin or is it because of kapora? So he says that it's not shaykh to say that a nafel should need kapora. He never did a sin, but it's a bizoyin. It's shaykh to should be bizoyin. If at least bizoyin achayim, it's a bizoyin for the family that you can take this piece of meat and throw it to a dog. It's a bizoyin. So he says that's the main thing why the Torah said that a coin is allowed to be metamal ovi imer lebenoy lebitoy in shum kapora, because the burial is a kapora. So this kohen, if he has his wife had a nafel, was not sheikh kapora. The Torah said that only lebnoy lebita that are not a nafel, but if a nafel is not sheikh kapora, therefore he shouldn't. He's not allowed to be metama because the main reason is mishum kapora. Okay, so let's summarize. Bottom line is there's a machlokes. Hachoiskim started from machlokes Rishonim. If you're mechuyev a nafel, if you're mechuyev to bury it or not, the bottom line is minig Yisrael is to bury it. I mean, the only shaila it would be like I'd be pushing away Yom Tov Sheni, but the minig Yisrael is to bury it. Shaila is at what stage in the pregnancy? At what stage? The truth from the Moshe, it's not. He goes through several shittas. There's a Chazon Ish who says at 40 days. And the Emma says, if you ask me, it sounds that way. Rashi in that Gemara and Daf Nun Zayin, when he talks about the Nafel, the Gemara asks, what's the Chiddush? The Gemara says we trust the Kusim at the place of Torah and Tomei. So the Gemara goes, why do we trust them? Then the Gemara says, what's the Chiddush? And the Gemara says that we trust that they know how to differentiate if it's a Nafel or it's not a Mayim Ba'alma. And Rashi says, what's the cutoff point? 40 days.
Is that a surah or no surah?
That's mashma that doesn't have to have a tzura, just 40 days. But the most places can hold that it's 4 months or 6 months. That's the bottom line. Every Chevra Kadisha has their dog who passes for them. Most places can hold it 4. But I'm saying the emphasis to me, I don't understand. It seems from Rashi, mashma and back Gemara, where the Magen Avraham saying that Chazal ridiculed the Kusim, that they thought the Kusim were doing the wrong thing, and it's anyway.
You're not in the family, it 40 days. And so happy to have the farm, I didn't look for her, but I met this woman who worked for local toilet and were hanging around the salon.
I mean,
and she told me that it's all 40 days, you cannot see it too well. But for 40 days, that's when you start to see what's too early.
Wow.
I would say.
Huh? So, bottom line is, there's Daf Nun Zayin in Nida. Nida Daf Nun Zayin.
Rabbi, they have a different nefel on miscarriage or abortion?
No, why should it? So that's the bottom line. The bottom line is it really depends. Different Chevra Kadishas what their policy is. The question, we're not trying to be machmer. This depends. If you hold that it's a minig baal, it's a minig. It's not here to be machmer. The bottom line is that if at some point the nafel should be buried, and most Chevra Kadishas will handle it. They'll take care of it.
Is it today most hold either 4 months or 6?
Huh?
Most hold either 4 months or 6 months.
Yeah, most hold 4 months, 6 months, not 40 days. Yes, 4 months or 6 months.
It depends when the ducks are made. The ultrasound to find out you.
Someone asked me this week. Someone asked me a shaila. So what happened was she said she did a hefsek taida. She did hefsek taida, and she said it was very hard for her, and she was very medayik to do it properly, and she did the full hefsek taida. She explained what she does. She does it mamish, like mamish to the T. So then she said what happened was on the first day of the Shiva Nakim, she forgot to do any bedeikas. She forgot to do any bedeikas.
On the first day.
On the first day.
maybe explain what it is.
So what happened? That in the first day, there's a machloikes at Rav and Reb Chanina, and Reb Chanina says you must have day 1 and day 7 of the Shiva Nakim, that there must be that the woman checks to make sure that she's clean on day 1 and day 7 is a minimum. And we're going to learn about it in a second in Shulchan Aruch, that day 1 and day 7 is a minimum. You can't go without it. You can't go without it. So the Shulchan Aruch says, שצריך תבדק ביום הראשון מהשיבה וביום השביעי ואין לה הקל. Yeah. So she said, well, the problem was I forgot. I didn't do day 1. So what do I do now? So she said, it's so hard for me to do a hefsek taida. She said, I can't, Rabbi, what should I do? What should I do? So first, let me redistribute over here.
I'm ready to go.
That's the sign. Yeah, no, you can put it here. It's fine. Yeah, you do it here. Don't worry. It's not disturbing us. Yeah, everyone has it here. Thank you. Now it has another few. Okay. Maybe give it a ban. Thank you. Still here. Okay. Look in the bottom, the Piskei Tshuva, the Piskei Tshuvas. It's look in the bottom. 318. Let's first look in the Tziv Dalet. B'chol yom is Shiva Nakim tzrich lis bedeika l'chatchila pamayim b'chol yom echad shakris v'echad samach l'bein hashmoshes. V'im lo yibodka b'chol Shiva el pam achas lo yishna bodka b'yom rishon shel hashiva oy b'yom hashviya b'echad mamtzim v'achas shebodka b'yom shekoydem hashvi u'motza tohida ovolo aval im lo yibodka b'chol Shiva b'yom hashmini bodka motza tohida ein lo ela ched b'lavad. If she didn't check the 7 days and she came along and she checked the 8th day, so now it's kilo. This is the day 1. And now she has to do another 7 days. This is the shita of Reb Chanina. You must have day 1 and day 7. No questions can be asked when I didn't say anything yet. So it has to be on day 1 and day 7. Ve'ein lahakel. Okay. Ve'ein lahakel. The problem is that a lot of times this is a sticky point that a woman does, and it could be that she missed out. She missed out on day 1 or day 7, which is critical according to the Shulchan Aruch. We pass a lot of Chanina. You must have day 1 and day 7. It's a problem.
Can't you live this 1 more day? So did she have 6 days?
No, according to Shulchan Aruch, she must do day 1 and day 7. So let's look in the bottom. Sivkot and Vav in the Piskei Tshuva. In the bottom, it's Sivkot and Vav in the Piskei Tshuva. I'm sorry that it's small words. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines from the bottom in the Piskei Tshuva. 8 lines from the bottom. He says, I'm bedogel mervav v'shekos afilu leibotke b'yem rishon abotke b'echel miyom memtzoyim v'gam b'yem hashvi gam asmag moide she'olo lo b'vacha kaponim liyem sheposke botke de shetifsek b'tahara v'ayim b'sifrei noide b'yehuda tinyona chilek yeredeya shekosav dafke rishon v'shvi b'inen alim b'gotke derech moshe b'rishon b'shlishi loy mahanya. So he says that I once gave a sheet about this. I'm not going to repeat what we went then, and this is 5-6 years ago maybe. So it was a serious shaila once. A woman was about to go to the mikveh, and I don't want to be, because this shaila is slightly different, and the end of the shaila was very much different than the other story. So I'm just going to skip from here to turn the page. The Piskei Teshuvos have gotten test. They've gotten test because the Shulchan Aruch says this is in the Shulchan Aruch. It's talking about the bedikis.
It starts at the very end of
Top line. Because in the Shulchan Aruch in Sif Vav it says Kol bedikas elu. Bein bedikas hefsek tayre, bein bedikas kol shiva tzirich elizabeth beged pishten lov and yosher beged tzemer tzemer lov and nokim berachtach nesenu beoisei mokim boimer uluchurim tzdokim ad mokim shasham mishdosh v'im yikshe b'nei ma'od la'achnise kol kach boimer l'pachas bedikas shayim hefsek tayre bedikas shayim rishon ma'ashiv etien ad mokim shasham mishdosh. Okay? That Shulchan Aruch says at least the hefsek time on the first day, the bedeika should be the 9 yards. Okay. Yes, 9 yards. Okay. And then he says in the Ramah, "Im lo yasakim b'bedikas yom rishon tasik pam achas b'bedikas shor yom v'di'eved im lo yasakim rak shabbat katz mayofa b'churim izdoket b'yom eneitev." So look in the like I said in the Piskei Teshuvos. He says I am betshuvos noy de biuda chelik yeridei simen ememvav sheherich lechich the das kar bepoiskum lahakel b'bedika elo shaloi mole libe lahakel gamri kiven shesh gamken har bepoiskum machmidim elo mashkos v'shulchan aruch de bedika shalav sektara bedika shem rishon. Then near the Lahakal of Lismach ala Ramban, the Rag Bedika shall have sectide at Sidich Luchurim al Zdok. Avo Shor Bedikas, I feel a Shor Yamrishan, die by Bedika Kala. Magam she Achri Shekotsa Shulchan Aruch Sif Aleph, she Yilma Dodam Terbeisa, Shetir Shem Kol Ben Hashmoshes. In Kena Rebe Bedika Zu, Kollel is Gam Bedikas Yamrishan, Sherei Amoich Etz La Kol Alayla. Elo shekama b'yisrael mishum svidas laila la svida al kolponim mishul tzaref daf Rashi shesoive shesvidas laila mikri svida l'nyanzeh shaf shetzirich b'bedika yom rishon shuv daila b'bedika kal ein shem baricha. So let me translate what he's saying. Shulchan Aruch said that she should do a very heavy hefsek taida b'oimek b'churim b'zdokim to do it very well, and also the bedika of the first day in the morning should do it very well. So he's being makel about the bedika the first day, that even though the Shulchan Aruch said that it has to be be'oimek alachudim walazdokim, that why? Because Shulchan Aruch said that a woman should have a moich doch the whole bein hashmoshes so be a moich doch. So it's efshar that it wasn't there for 1 minute after bein hashmoshes. So shouldn't she takes it out after bein hashmoshes and it's clean? So that's counted as bedikas yom rishon. Lamai, there is a shitta that says the bedika shouldn't be balayla but bayom. That's a question. If you hold that it's like svida, it's like if you hold it's like svida soimer. Like it's a din in svida. But if you hold that it really is a din in akim, that you have to make sure that it's naki. So what's the difference if you check by laila bayom? What's the difference? You check, then it's clean. So therefore, he said you could be making and do a shvache bedika. You could do a shvache bedika. So and this on the first day. Now I want to be making a little more. This woman did not do any bedika on day 1. So that was one thing. But then I realized that this woman really doesn't care so much if she will start her Shiva Nakim 1 day later, and she was not trying to get pregnant. The reason she's having a hard time hefsek taida was she just had a baby. And it's a little. She's feeling still a little sore, b'chulu, and therefore it's a nightmare for her to do again. So I asked her, "Would you like to count Shiva Nakim just 1 day later?" She said, "No problem at all. I have no problem. That's fine." Oh, so the Tzemach Tzedek says on this siman that if a woman wants to have hefsek taida and then start counting a day or 2 later, I feel like she could do that. And then it's a little bit mashmas away from the Lashon Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch says if a woman did a hefsek taida and then didn't do the bedikas until day 8. So day 8 turns into day 1. But wait a second. There shouldn't be a gap between the hefsek taida and the Shiva Nakim. It's mashra from the Shulchan Aruch that's not a problem. Now, it's an interesting thing in the Sikha from the Rebbe. What's the odds? In Sikha, look what the Sikhas, the Rebbe brings up this Tshuva. Because the Rebbe talks about the union of a Jewish body being pure and the difference of Nida and Ziva. Nidus is Eis Nidosa. Ziva is below Eis Nidosa. We always have all the chumras and everything. But for Zivus is because it's not natural. So therefore, your mamash have to have Shiva Nakim. He says that this union is like a Beinani. Mashiach will come, all the union will be tzaddikim. But now, because the union of Dam Zivus came from Chava, from the Chet of Chava. Nidus is not so bad, because Nidus is sort of a natural cycle. But that we're saying that the Beinani, he davens and he gets a geschmack and avodas Hashem, but he can expect that a little time later, then Mashava Zaretz will start coming back to him. The Eisa Tefillah is not going to come, but later it's going to come. He can expect that. So the Rebbe talks about this. That's why the poskim say that even if we don't hold Tefillah B'zman Mitzvah, a woman should go in the mikveh in the right time. Why? But if you don't hold Tefillah B'zman Mitzvah, who cares? Why does a woman have to go to the mikveh? No, because a Yiddish body should be pure. Even Baila Eina Be'ir, there's an Indian that Yiddish body should be pure. So if you have the shit is that brought in the Pitzke Tshuva. Even the Baila you should go to the mikveh. Well, there's a thing that night when she comes back, what you should do. But there is a shit is that I brought. Why? Because Indian Ruchni. So then the Rebbe asks, hey, wait a minute. How could, but some tzedek says befedish that afila lechatzila, that a woman could do hefsek taida and start the Shiva Nakim later. Could 2 days later or 3 days later. These are the words that some tzedek. Ima isha ena maschelas lish b'Shiva Nakim and mokras yem afsaka. Also lasvida. Vav lechatchila tuchalas es kenim tirtza. If she wants, she could do that even lechatchila. Even lechatchila, she could do that. It's a similar shaila. It's a similar shaila because the shaila is so. If you hold tefillah b'zman as mitzvah, also we hold tefillah. We're a little on the fence. We say l'mashal agabi Shabbos that only in Baila Be'ir she can go on Shabbos. But Baila not. But still, there are in Piskei Tshuva brings shittas that she should go to the mikveh even if Baila not Be'ir. So the Rebbe has a problem that someone said with Fedish writes lachatchila tuchalas as kain im tirtza to have the hefsek taida, wait a day or two, and then start the Shiva Nakim. Huh? So what's better to do? It's a good question. So the Alta, the Rebbe says, an unbelievable thing. Very interesting thing. It's also a little bit of Ashkofa thing. It's sometimes when you're in a certain halachas and a posek says, the Alter Rebbe says, "Lachatchila she can do it." The Rebbe says, "Why is he saying lachatchila?" We're talking in Simon Kuf Tzadik Vav, the laws of hefsek taira and bedeika of Shiva Nakim, because we treat every woman like a zava because Neis Yisrael lechmiru alatzman lechmiru lechmiru. At the end we count Shiva Nakim, right? So the halachas here we're talking about hefsek taira and Shiva Nakim. So mitzad the halachas of hefsek taida and Shiva Nakim, lechatchila she could do hefsek taida, wait a day or two, and then start the Shiva Nakim. The Aruch HaShulchan doesn't hold that way, by the way, but that's what tzedek also. Yeah, so lechatchila. It's lechatchila she can wait, but that's mitzad hilchis Shiva Nakim. But mitzad if you hold tefillah b'zman mitzvah, or mitzad the inyan that a yid should have a guf noki, we're not talking about that over here. This is not the sugya over here. This is not the sugya over here. It's an interesting ashkafa shaila. My wife is now joined a group of women that are teaching for college because she figured, so she was telling me recently about one of the it's very nice. It's a beautiful thing that the women are so medaik in the mitzvah, and that there's groups of women that will take the commitment to teach young kalas. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So my wife was telling me about a shift in the kala teachers realize it's very important to a little bit of a, because they used to teach the kalas all the halachas flat. Azoy daf menton. But there are certain halachas that are medinei tznius, and there are certain halachas that are medinei nida. And then there came a generation where there were Kalas, young Kalas, that are nicht alt nicht but the Darga Beinani and Tanya. The regular Beinani, not the Beinani and Tanya. And then and they felt it's too much for them. So and once one thing drops, other thing drops. So the Kala teachers have now this focus of making sure that the Kala understands what's Medine Nida and what's Medine Tznius. What's the minig and what's the din. So this way, if a woman there's a Medine Tznius, there's a lot of things about how Bnei Yisrael are noyeg in Bein Ish Isha. But say this young couple are not up to that yet. So they should know, okay, this is Dinei Tznius, but this is the Chas v'Sholom that they should know that the Shiva Nekim is Shiva Nekim, and they have Sektaida, they have Sektaida, and sometimes sometimes a woman they'll be more gladly very thing on keeping the Oinas Haveses and Takin. They don't have to be makel. I don't know why today there's a little more kulas in the bedikas of the Shiva Nekim. They don't have to spend so many kulas. A lot of young couples will be very happy to keep, because last night was Rocha Protis, the last night the gem video that I was talking about, and you saw people push it, videos, people coming by and saying that they're having an issue in Shalom Bayis. So the Rebbe says to be bedeika and the halachas of Taras HaMishpocha. And the Rebbe said they should learn it again. Unbelievable stories, miracle stories, 7-8 stories you see in the video. It's fascinating. People are being interviewed. You see a person who is, it's not so clear if he's so frum or not. And the Rebbe bends over and says you should keep the halachas of Taras HaMishpocha, and then you'll be zoichet to have a child. And then they interview him now, and you see him Chasima Zoke and with and he he said that he learned how to mishpacha, and then he had children, became frumim. So it's interesting answer that I was saying. Tzemach Tzedek said lechatchila a woman could do hefsek taira and wait 2-3 days and then start. But he was not talking about this thing in Rusni that a woman should go right away to the mikveh, tefillah b'zman and mitzvah or not. He was talking mitzad the dinim of Shiva Nekim. So therefore, going back to this woman, so this was a slam dunk. She is not trying to get pregnant. It's not an issue. So she doesn't care to start the Shiva Nekim 1 day later. She just doesn't want to do again the hefsek taira. No. So you did a kosher hefsek taira. And it was day 1 when she called with the Shiloh. So tomorrow morning you'll start your Shiva Nekim and Hakal al Makoimo Yava B'Shalom. You don't have to be even makel to say that the first day will rely. It's not really what because the Noid Behuda was only being makel if she did a shvache bedeika in Yom Rishon. And I'm thinking to be makel more. These things are serious things. Why to be makel? The woman doesn't care. She doesn't care to go to a mikveh a day later, and her husband doesn't care. So she doesn't want to do again.
According to Tzemach Tzedek.
Yeah, the emphasis, even though the Aruch HaShulchan says, first of all, I'll pass him like Tzemach Tzedek anyway, but the Aruch HaShulchan said that L'chatchili you're not allowed to do it. Shasat Chak is Kidiyeh V'domi. Shasat Chak is Kidiyeh V'domi. She already made the hefsek taira, and now she's very upset not to do again a hefsek taira. When he said it's only diavad, this is diavad. This is the pshat of diavad. She already did. Yeah, this is diavad.
I have a question. In school, high school, for the girl, the shackle, they teach you all this?
No. They teach it. No, not in Beis Yaakov. The minute today is that there's a chosin teacher and a kala teacher.
This is before they're getting married. I'm doing.
No, they don't teach.
Why not?
They don't teach.
Why not? Probably not too much.
Still kids.
I don't know. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. No, because a person, it doesn't go into a person's head when it's not negeya. When it's not negeya, it doesn't go into a person's head.
They're not ready to get married.
So it's not. It can. Exactly. And then it's worse because they think that they know. Every kala and every chassan knows I know nothing. I must have a chassan.
So how long the teacher, kala and chassan teach her? They need a while. They need a few months.
They do.
Again, in 1 second, learn everything.
It's
Huh? As long as they need. That's yeah. And if the engagements are short engagements, so the Chosn Kala will learn more intensely. Okay, that's what they do. That's what they do. Baruch Hashem, today there's very good Chosn teachers and Kala teachers in every Kehila. And Baruch Hashem, this is something that's a very big shvach to our generation. That Baruch Hashem, the Chassan and Makalas are learning it very well. Baruch Hashem.
My biggest fan on cosmetology is that they don't sit together and they don't know who each other are, and to make sure the cosmetology are the same page. That's the problem. They don't do it. It's a big problem.
They're working on it, and now a lot, because sometimes it's good. The Chosn teacher and the Kala teacher should have a little bit of a.
They have to. They must be. They must be.
They're working on it.
This, the college teacher says this, and then you have
they're working on it. They're working on it.
Yeah. No, it creates problems.
They're working on it. They're working on it. They're constantly Baruch Hashem.
No, that's the word.
Baruch Hashem. It's a beautiful thing right now that they're younger light, and there's women that put in their neshama, and they're teaching the younger generation. And Baruch Hashem, it's something that's in this generation is. And the mikvahs, they're building beautiful mikvahs. And Baruch Hashem, today there's apps and there's books. And it helps. Yes,
Go
yes.
to the mikvah in the US.
Baruch Hashem. I want to finish off with a third nakuda, a small nakuda. That everyone said there's a Gemara in Daf Kuf Zayin in Suvis. The Gemara says, the pasuk says in Tehillim, in Kuf Yud Beis, Sitkosei Amedis La'at, Kan Leitorim B'Kobit. So the Gemara says, what's the pshat? Sitkosei Amedis La'at. Which kind of tzedakah does a person do that stands forever? The Gemara says, Zakoisev, Torah Nevi'im Ksuvim, or Mashilam La'chedim. That he writes Torah Nevi'im Ksuvim and he gives it out as a loan. And that's a tzedakah that stands forever and ever. The Rebbe said that's why it's a big mitzvah to make lending libraries. Because not everyone has all kinds of svarim in their house, and therefore it's a good thing to make lending libraries. And the Rebbe said that it's kedai, that the library shouldn't just be a technical place, that there should be someone there, that if a yid walks in and he looks for a sefer, you could help them out and push them along in their spiritual journey to, you're looking for this sefer, you can look for this sefer, and maybe they didn't put on tefillin yet, or maybe this mitzvah, that mitzvah, that you could help them along. For many years, we used to have a library, and the emphasis that there was a lot of times that the people came in. Oh, it's a library. They came in, even though today Baruch Hashem, Svarim are not that expensive, and you can get Svarim online. But still, we used to have 2-3 computers, and with all kinds of programs, it's and the different, and it's a very nice thing. So the Rebbe says that goes into hakoisa. That's tzidkosei medis la'ad. That's a pshat tzidkosei. The Gemara says today it's not so much because it doesn't work that way. I'm going to write a sefer Torah. I'm going to give it, but by having a library and to publicize as a library, make it comfortable and nice. There's coffee, there's air conditioning, there's eating, there's a ragla there, and people feel that it's geschmack a place to come in.
They have a room that you see the video of the Rabbi all the time. Forgot to say them. People used to come, I remember, just to watch it.
Okay. So Bez Hashem Yisborach that in the future we'll be able to have bigger and better and the same thing. Okay, atzlacha.
Very, very.